In this video, I'm going to talk about using APA PsycInfo. PsycInfo is probably the premier psychology database for finding academic sources, so it's really an essential tool for our search. What I'm going to show in this first video is how to conduct an advanced search in PsycInfo using an example. When you first boot up the database, you will be greeted with a fairly simple search box. I highly recommend that you go below and click on the advanced search. The advanced search interface is helpful because it allows us to add more than one term. In this particular example, I'm interested in finding sources about cyberbullying and how it affects adolescents. So I'm going to go ahead and add some key terms. The terms I've chosen to use are cyberbullying and adolescent. You'll notice that I've put cyberbullying in quotation marks because I want to search this as a phrase. Anytime you have two or more words that you want to keep together as one thing in your search, make sure to put them in quotation marks. You'll notice that the term adolescent has an asterisk beside it. That's because I want the database to search both the singular and plural version of this. Now, for more of the in-depth search techniques and phrasings, be sure to check out the MRU Library Psychology Guide section on conducting searches and literature reviews. When we're searching terms, we can also specify in the database where we want those terms to be searched. The default is called select a field, meaning that these terms will be searched everywhere. However, we can specify if the term should be searched in the title, as the author, as the subject, in the abstract, etc. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit search. After clicking search, you'll be brought to a page of results. Now this is a fairly simple search, so you'll notice that I have about 835. That's actually not too bad. It's not uncommon to get thousands and thousands of results in your first search, but don't worry, we're going to find out how to refine those results. We can learn quite a bit about these sources by just looking at them. For instance, we can skim through these results and look at the titles. Academic research articles often have very descriptive titles that will tell us a lot about the information. We can also hover over here to the hourglass beside each of these articles to get a more in-depth view of the authors, where it was published, the related subject terms, and the abstract. A good abstract should give you an idea of not only what the article was about, but some of the conclusions. Now the power of PsycInfo is really in its filters. So on the left-hand side under Refine Results, you'll notice that it's already included our search terms as filters. Now we can add more search terms as we go. Under the Limit To section, you have a few options. The first is linked full text. I'd recommend leaving this off. Clicking this box will make sure that all the results have a PDF associated with it. However, many articles, if not available in PsycInfo, will be available in other databases at MRU Library, and we will link to that. So I would leave this unchecked for the time being. Probably the most important search filter that we want to check is scholarly peer-reviewed journals. Clicking this search filter will limit most of our searches to scholarly peer-reviewed sources only. If we go to the top, you'll notice that our search results have decreased from the 800s to the 600s, so we've weeded out a few results already. Next, we want to limit the publication date. Let's say that we're looking for an article published within the last 10 years. We can just type that in the box and then refine our search by clicking Return on the keyboard. Now there's a few other refinements that we can do in our search that are specific to PsycInfo. You'll notice a bunch of different options that are hidden on the left-hand side. The ones that I want to draw your attention to are age, methodology, and test and measures. If you are looking for articles that deal with a particular age group, I strongly suggest checking out the age filter. You can unhide it by clicking on it, but if you go to the Show More on any of these filters, you'll be given a larger list of age ranges. Because I'm looking for cyberbullying and its effect on adolescents, I see that we actually have adolescents as a term that we can limit our search to. Beside each of these options, you'll see the hit count, meaning that this is how many results you'll have left once it's selected. Now, another filter I want to draw your attention to is methodology. This is particularly useful if you want to limit your search to the type of method used in the study. A common one is empirical research. That's typically where the experiment had a control and an experimental group. Last, I want to draw your attention to the tests and measures section. This is particularly useful if you're looking for a study that uses a known test and measure. There are many verified tests and measures in the field of psychology, and we can actually refine our results by those studies that incorporate those tests and measures into the study itself. This has been a brief video on how to use PsycInfo's advanced search and search fields.